Hey everyone. So if you're a college student like me, winter break isn't just the start of a whole month of freedom and a break from school things for a little while, but it is also the heart of college internship season. And when I say that, I mean that by now most college internships have been open for a little bit, the applications have been made available, people have begun to apply, and you guys are probably sitting at home enjoying time with your family, but at the same time kind of stressing out because these internship applications are no joke. And if you guys really want an internship with a particular company, you know just how stressful it can be to try and finish your application so that you present yourself in the best possible way with every hope that you're going to get an interview with that company. And since I have a little bit of experience with applying for internships, this is my third year in a row now applying for internships, and I've been lucky enough to get great internships both prior summers. I figured I would share some of my advice for kind of acing the application process. And this is going to be the first in a series of videos. I'm also definitely going to be doing an ace the interview video because that is so important as well. But I just thought that since it's the beginning of winter break, it's a perfect time to talk about just how you can apply for internships and really just come across as best as you possibly can. So I'm just going to share a couple of my favorite tips for that. And if you guys have any questions, of course, feel free to leave comments and I will definitely get back to you. So number one, and I cannot stress this enough, is be completely honest on your applications. And I mean, this kind of seems like it might be obvious, but you would be surprised probably by how many people will just stretch the truth a little bit on their applications, and what goes from almost having an internship definitely can go to you being basically blacklisted from that company for life, and you would not be able to intern with them just because you lied. And it might be about something small that you think is harmless, but in the world of like in the corporate world is what I'm trying to say, it's really important to always be honest because they are definitely going to be able to check up on what you say and verify if it is correct or not. And so it's just so important to come across as an honest person because you do not want to start working with a company and have something come out later that showed that you lied and then be let go from your job. And they don't want to hire someone from the start who they know is a liar because they don't know what you're going to be doing then when you're working with them. So that is the one thing I have to say is the most important thing when filling out applications. And you might be thinking, but the truth is, if I don't stretch the truth about myself, I'm not going to get applications anywhere. And I just want to say that that is completely untrue. And I know this because I've been faced in this situation myself. I've never lied on an application or anything like that. I don't want you to get that idea. But I've had some pretty stressful years where, due to illness and things like that, I've had to withdraw from a semester of school. And when you're applying for an internship, that doesn't look like the greatest thing possible. I mean, you withdrew from school, and when you're filling out an application, if you don't really explain why, it just looks like you withdrew from school for a semester and they don't know what you were doing. They don't know why you left school. So sometimes I'm wary of even talking about that because I don't want people to think that I took off from school for any reason other than a valid one completely. And so what I have found works for me is if you have any problems in your academic background, or if there's a little blemish in your life that you really don't feel comfortable talking about, but at the same time it can't be ignored when you're applying for something like this, I just recommend maybe sending in a supplement with your application if that's possible, or if they give you a spot on the application where you can explain any little blips and things on your career, your academic career, just do so, and do so really well, just explain exactly what happened. And that's what I always do. I always just am completely honest. I got sick over a semester. I was extremely sick. I was in the hospital. I was seeing different doctors, and I just couldn't be in school at that time. And I have found that just being 100% honest and upfront about my past illness history when I'm applying for internships has made the companies kind of respect the fact that not only was I honest with them about what happened, but I was able to get back on track after being so sick and kind of just resume my studies as if nothing had happened. So I just stress that no matter what, be honest in your application process. Okay, so tip number 2 that I have for you guys is to be creative in the application process. And I know that sometimes it's hard to want to be too creative in something because you don't want to throw a future employer off by doing something that is just totally off the walls and like random, you know what I mean? So like if they are saying like you can apply a supplement to this application and they're maybe expecting you to include a link to your YouTube video channel or something like that, and you send them like a collage that you made of cat heads or something weird like that, I mean, that isn't really probably what you want to do if you're being creative, unless you're going to work for like a taxidermy place. I wouldn't send cat head art, but you guys know what I mean. There are so many ways that we can be creative in our applications that people often don't think of. Like, for example, when an application asks you to write an essay and they give you a scripted question for the essay, this is your chance to make yourself stand apart from the other hundreds of applicants for this position. all you have to do is take that question, take the time to really think about it. Don't rush through your applications, don't rush through these essays. Take the time to really go through the question, think about what they're asking, and then think if there is a creative way that you can answer that question. So many places will ask you, why do you want this internship? And so many people could just sit there and say, I want this internship because I want to work in this field. I want this internship because I need it to graduate. Those are boring answers. I mean, they might be true, and I am sorry if I just insulted you by saying that's boring, but you guys know what I mean. If you really want a specific internship, there are other reasons aside from just getting school credit or simply wanting to work in this field later on that you can talk about. You could talk about an experience you had as a child that is why you feel called to this actual career path. You can talk about the experiences you've had in the past that really have shown you that this is the job for you. Just be creative and let that creativity show through your application. And this leads into number 3 perfectly, and that is be passionate. No matter what, I really just strongly advise you guys against applying for internships that you are not interested in and you're just doing it because your parents want you to or your school wants you to. Don't do it. I mean, if you are not going to be enjoying yourself this summer in your internship, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it for you. It's not worth it for the company that you're applying to. And it's really not fair to other applicants out there who really, really want that internship and they really want that spot. If it isn't something that you think that you want to do, don't apply for it, and don't be afraid to tell your family that, I'm not really interested in this. Don't be afraid to tell your advisor, I think I want to try something new this summer. It never hurts to try something new and to try something that you love. So, I mean, I have a great personal example of this. I'm a pre-med student right now, but that doesn't stop me from applying for internships in the fashion and beauty industry because I am so passionate about fashion and beauty and I love it so much that I want to spend time getting to know the field because I'm only a sophomore in college right now. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen between now and the time I graduate. I might completely decide that I don't want to be pre-med anymore. I might decide that fashion is exactly what I want to do. And there's no way that you're going to be able to decide that unless you've had the experience in the field. So I have interned at hospitals, I have volunteered at hospitals, and I've loved every minute of it. But I also spent a summer as a product development intern for a beauty company, and I had the time of my life. So never sell short an opportunity. Never be afraid of trying something new because it's often the only way that you are going to be able to try and find out if this is a field that you want to be part of. And when I say also to be passionate, take the time, to research the company you're applying to. Take the time to get some knowledge in the field that you're applying to so that you can use that knowledge and use it to best support your application as you can. Number 4 is try and apply early. And so I know it's already December, so a lot of the applications have been open for a while, and you might have already applied, but you might not have. I always stress applying early because the earlier you apply, the earlier they're going to see your application, they're going to see that you're on top of it, and they are going to probably and hopefully get you in for an interview earlier than they might for some other people who might wait until the last minute to apply. But in no way feel afraid of not getting an internship if you do not apply early, because last year for my fantastic internship that I got, I applied literally the day before the application deadline closed, and I had been kind of putting it off because I was not sure it was something I wanted to do. I wasn't sure if this was even a field that was right for me. And like I spoke about in my last tip, number 3, be passionate about what you're applying for. I was letting the fact that I was a pre-med student keep me from applying to an internship in a field that I was really, really interested in. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have applied from the start. So even though it worked out for me, I do stress applying early because it really, really helps out. And then my last tip is number 5. Find out what kind of resources your school has to help you out with your applications and even to help you out throughout your internship. It's really important to have a great connection with your probably Office of Career Counseling. That's the office that I go to at my school. And when I say that, they can help you by letting you know if you're going to be able to get credit for an internship. They can help you with your applications. They can help you make connections in the field you want to be working in. And they can also help lead the way to internships you might not have known were available to you if you hadn't gone and seen them. So I definitely stress making a good relationship with that office. It's also really important because a lot of applications that you send in are going to require that you send in a transcript to prove your GPA or just to see what prior courses you've taken. So you need to have a good relationship with those people at your school who can direct you to the people that you're going to need to send all this information to you. Oh, and you know what? I thought that was going to be the last one, but I definitely do have a number 6, and that is make sure that you know who you guys are going to pick as your references early. And that's so important because when you need someone to write a reference for you for an application, they need the time to kind of, sit down, think about their relationship with you, and think about how they best want to present you to your hopefully future employer. Because when you choose someone for a reference, you know that they have a pretty high regard for you. They think that you're a great student, they think that you're a great person, and they don't want to have to rush through writing a letter of recommendation because they do want to put you out there in the best light possible because they're there to support you as well. So guys, don't be afraid to use your support systems. Don't be afraid to be passionate, to be creative, to really show who you are throughout the whole application process. And I cannot stress that to you guys enough. I am such a big believer in being yourself and going into these application processes knowing that if the company doesn't choose you for the internship, it just might not have been the best fit for you that summer. They might not have had a position that would have worked for you. And no matter what happens throughout the application process, I just want to encourage everyone out there, keep your chin up, keep positive, keep looking for new experiences, and don't be afraid, like I said, to try something new because you guys, we're only going to be in college once. We're only going to have these opportunities to intern now. We have to make the most of it so that we can all have I know I'm getting all choked up and emotional, I'm sorry. So that we can have the best summer of our lives because I have to tell you, interning is a blast. You're going to make friends that you're going to have for a lifetime. You're going to get to experience hopefully new cities, meet new people, and just make connections that are going to last for a lifetime. So if you guys, like I said before, have any questions about internships, just let me know. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video and stay tuned for more information regarding internships coming to you guys soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye.